Hello everyone, welcome to the official YouTube channel of Royal Defence Academy, the ultimate platform for your Sainik School, Military School and RAMC entrance exam coaching. So if you are aspiring to become a proud army officer, do join Royal Defence Academy and subscribe to our channel for the latest notification and the best content. Today we are having the science chapter, that is force and pressure. So basically force and pressure is a topic of 8th class NCERT syllabus. So force and pressure, both of them are a part of science and are correlated with each other. When there is force, only and only then there will be pressure. Each and everything in this world is dealing with force. If force is not there, nothing will move. Now first of all, in your 7th grade, you have studied the topics like motion. Now motion, when an object is moving, it is having some kind of speed, object is at rest, कोई ना कोई force उस पे act कर रहा है, some kind of force is acting on it. Now for example, a ball is moving forward. Some force must have hit the ball, that's why the ball is moving. Otherwise, the ball will be at rest. Now if a ball is moving and it is coming to rest, then some kind of force must be there to make it to the rest. So that's why motion and force are interrelated. Now talking about pressure. Pressure is the force per unit area. When we are applying force to a specific area, that will be called as pressure. Now talking about force, formulatically that is force is equal to mass into acceleration, that is MA. And the SI unit of force is Newton. Newton consists of mass, we take the mass in kilograms and we take the acceleration in meter per second square. This things becomes equal to Newton. Newton is denoted by a capital N. This is the unit of force, the SI unit of force that we deal with while doing the calculation. You can use kg meter per second square. Otherwise, it is okay to use simply Newton, either N or the whole word Newton. This unit is discovered after the scientist Isaac Newton. Sir Isaac Newton was a great scientist who has done many calculation, many observation related to force and pressure. That's why we are having a whole unit dedicated to him. That is Newton. Now, in this world, if you are moving, if you are walking, if anything is falling from up to down, when anything is in the sky, it is falling down, that is because of gravitational force. When two magnets are sticking on each other, that is because of magnetic force. Now there are different kinds of force: electrostatic, magnetic, gravitational, the normal force, muscular force that we are using while pulling or pushing something. So there are different kinds of force in each and every action that is going on in this world. In this world, many actions go day to day life. Commonly, when we do any action by our body, the muscular force is acting. When two magnets are attracting each other, there is magnetic force. In the wires also, electrons are moving. Some kind of force is there, that is electrostatic force. Anything that is coming to our earth, coming towards any planet is stretching, attracting anything, that is due to the gravitational force possessed by that celestial body. And on earth, we are standing on the surface, that too is because of gravitational force. And when we will go in the sky, this vacuum, no gravity is present, you will fly in the sky. Commonly, you won't be able to sit, stand or do anything that you are doing on the earth. If you are walking, you are pressurizing the land. You are putting a force on the land, otherwise you won't be able to walk. So basically force and pressure, both of them are interrelated. Today we will talk about the basic force. Understanding motion and force. Just like I told you in introduction that initial motion, slowing down and coming to rest. These three are the part of motion. Like somebody was at rest, it started moving. Somebody was moving, it came to rest. These two main actions related to motion. When anything is moving in this world, we require an external force to break it. We require external force to stop it, to make it at rest. Now for example, on this world, if a ball is moving on the earth's surface, it will come to a stop. It will come to rest because of the friction possessed by the surface of earth. Any rough area possesses friction, and because of that friction, anything comes to rest. That is the external force making anything at rest. Now talking about a still body, a body at rest. When it comes to motion, that is uniform motion, non-uniform motion, that doesn't matter. If a body is at rest and we are moving it, we started to move it, there is some kind of force that made it move. Without any force, we can't move anything, we can't make anything at rest. Now, initial motion, an object is like a ball, is set in motion rolling on the ground. For example, initially one object was there, it is moving, it is rolling down the ground. For example, take a slide. There was a slide and a ball was moving down. The ball is our object and the slide, the ball is moving downwards. Now slow down. The ball gradually slow down as it rolls. When an object moves slowly by time, friction acts upon it and that object comes to rest. The speed gradually decreases and after that it comes to rest. Coming to rest, eventually the ball comes to complete stop. That is, first it will move with the same speed. We are talking about a straight line. We hit anything, it will move. After that, the speed will decrease and at a point of time, it will come at rest. And that point, the force has acted upon that body and the body has stopped moving at all. In class 7th, you learned about how objects move. Recall how we determined if one object is moving faster than other. The distance moved by an object in unit time indicates its speed. Now, in your class 7th, when you study the basic chapter that is motion, you study the terms like the speed, velocity, distance, time and displacement. So basically, what is happening is that if any body is moving, there are two cars on the racing track. One is moving fast, one is moving slow. That is because the per unit distance traveled by the first car is higher than the per unit distance traveled by the second car. Because of that, there is a difference between the force. And that acceleration we are putting by an external force that is produced by the fuel of the body. That is petrol, diesel, CNG, whatever we are using as a fuel, that fuel will make up, that fuel will act up and force will be there. And because of that force, if the force is high, the speed will be high. If the force is low, the speed will be low. Okay? So that thing we have studied in the science, the basic concept of motion, and now we are interrelating the concept of motion with force with pressure and all. Everyday examples of force, making a football move. Now in a football ground, a team is playing football. To make that football move, you have to put a muscular force by your kick. That by your leg, you will kick the ball. There will be a muscular force and the ball will start moving in a straight line. Obviously in a straight line or a helical motion, that is like this. Okay. A player kicks the ball to set in motion. The first motion, increasing ball speed. Now again, if we want to increase the ball speed, either we have to kick hard or we have to kick twice. Additional forces applied to make a ball moving go faster. Now one footballer kicked the ball started moving, another footballer will kick the ball, then the third one, then the fourth one, and finally it will go into the goal. Like that, anything, if we want to raise the speed, if we want to make in the motion, we have to put a force, external force for higher motion. Stopping a ball, a goalkeeper applies force to stop an incoming ball. Now again the ball is moving. No one can stop that without any force. If there is no force in the air, the ball will continue to move. So the goalkeeper, that is making the goal safe, has to stop the ball by an external force that his muscles will apply. His muscles will apply an external force on that very ball and the ball will stop moving. It will come to a rest only if there will be force. So if force is not there, nothing will be moved, nothing will come to rest. Next is changing ball direction. A hockey player uses a stick to change the direction of a moving ball. Now, for example, I have kicked the ball in the straight line and my goal is on the sideway. So I have to change the direction. If I want to change the direction of the ball, I will kick from this side, that is opposite side. I will apply force from the opposite side and the direction will be changed. Like that, if a hockey player wants to change the direction of ball, he will apply external force in another direction. Like force, it is directional. If direction is there, force will be there. Force will be applied in a specific direction. For example, in a straight line, north, south, east, west, any direction will be there. Force is a directional term and it will be applied according to the direction. Did you ever wonder what makes an object slow down or go faster or change its direction of motion? Let's recall some of our everyday experiences. What do you do to make a football move? What do you do to make ball move faster? How does a goalkeeper stop a ball? How do fielders stop a ball hit by a batsman? A hockey player changes the direction of moving ball with a flick of the stick. So basically, if you want to move a ball, you have to apply a force. If you want to stop a ball, you have to apply a force. If you want to change the direction, you have to apply force in a different direction. These are the basic activities related to a specific game. But it's not hard and fast rule that it will be applied only on football or only on hockey. In our day-to-day life, each and everything, this force is applied. if we are standing, if we are moving, if we are hitting anyone, if we are moving any stick, force is applied, and that force is produced by our body. The food we eat gives us energy and we produce muscular force. Okay. Defining force, push and pull. In science, the basic term of force is a push or pull on an object is called as force. If you are pushing something, if you are pulling something. For example, I am standing here. This is the point of application of force. This is the point of application of force. I will apply force from this very point. So if I want to push anything, that is, the force will be applied on the outward direction and the object will move away. If I want to apply the force in inward direction, I will pull the force. The object will come towards me. That is pull. A first is push, a force that moves an object away from the point of application. I am standing here. This is the point of application. I am applying the force. Talking about push, if the object moves away by my force, if I am applying any force and the object moves away, that will be the push. And on the other hand, a force that moves an object towards the point of application. If there is an object, I will pull that object, I will stretch the object towards me. That is the distance between the point of application and the object is becoming low. It is decreasing. It is initially decreasing slowly. That will be called as pull. So push and pull compilely make up the force. Force is the external term, external energy that will be applied on any object to make it move or make it at rest. Push and pull are the two basic forces that we apply in our day-to-day lives. In these situations, the ball is either made to move faster or slower, or its direction of motion is changed. For example, if a bowler is bowling the ball, for taking any example of cricket match, if he's bowling, that is, he's applying the force on the object, that is the ball. The ball is moving away. That is the example of push. And now we are pulling anything. Now we have the rope game in which two sides are there, two sides people are stretching that thing. If we are pulling that thing towards us, that is the distance between them and us are decreasing. So that will be called as pull. In our day-to-day life, there are many examples of push and pull, and these examples, these energies, these forces combinedly make the term force. Okay. This was a basic introduction of the chapter force. We will continue to the same chapter in the next session. Thank you for watching the video. Do like, share and subscribe to our channel.